Hi, I'm Aurora, and here's my story. The utterly horrifying memories of that day came back to me as I'm typing this, but I want to share this story of mine. Please note this for later. We live in an old one-story house in our village with an alpha steel corrugated rooftop, so when you step on the roof, it'll sound like you're banging on a thin metal surface. Now, back to the story. I had this one nightmare about 5 months ago that I noted in my diary, and I called it the creepy guy running on our ceiling. And it was about me and my family celebrating for something. I couldn't vividly remember what we were celebrating for, but it was around nighttime when it happened. A little later, me and my big sister were in the living room where I was sitting on the couch. My sister and I were relaxing while everyone enjoyed, but for some reason, I kept on looking at my grandparents' bedroom, which was about 7 steps away from where the living room is. Then suddenly the lights went off, and I heard fast and heavy footsteps coming from our ceiling, but no one was there. Everything became silent as sounds of the footsteps slowly started to fade, going straight to my grandparents' bedroom. Remember when I said that our house is only one story? And when you step on our rooftop, it'll sound like you're banging on a thin metal surface? Well, that's not what we heard. We heard footsteps, as if someone was actually walking directly on our ceiling. To be accurate, it sounds like barefoot running on a thin carpet. When the footsteps gone in my grandparents' bedroom, it suddenly stopped. Out of nowhere at all, we saw a tall, tan-skinned man with short black hair, wearing yellow and green basketball attire. He entered by our front door without opening it since it was closed, calmly running barefoot until he was on our ceiling, making the exact same footsteps we heard earlier. That guy that I didn't even know who went around the chandelier above in a few circles and then went in my grandparents' bedroom and just disappeared. But unexpectedly, none of us screamed in horror. Even if we absolutely were, we were just dead silent, all gathered in the living room, and weirdly enough, sitting down in the same crisscross position. Strangely, that guy didn't come out of the bedroom. Instead, still running on our ceiling barefoot, he showed up again, running from the kitchen, went in another few circles, and then ran back in the same bedroom. While it was running, we just kept staring at it silently. The guy did the same thing over and over again, coming from different places of the house, but always ending up in my grandparents' bedroom. But the thing that scared me the most was his bloodshot eyes. His face was always staring at me the whole time while running. Weirdly, I still didn't scream. Then the last part of my dream was when he was still running barefoot. But the next thing I saw was his upper body was completely gone, and instead had another pair of legs also moving, attached to where his upper body was supposed to be. I woke up around 4:17 a.m., and something told me to look up, as it reminded me of the dream, and I couldn't sleep after that. When my parents woke up, I told them about it, and of course, they said it was just a dream, and I should forget about it, and I should pray every night for no more nightmares. Eventually, we all just shrugged it off and continued with our normal lives. But I thought at first that it might be a sign that something bad was going to happen. Maybe since this house is so old, I could get these nightmares sometimes. So it's nothing, and almost gave no attention to it anymore. But I shouldn't have, and I regretted thinking about that crazy dream. You see, I had deja vu when this happened to me like 4 months ago. My grandparents were celebrating their 74th anniversary, and we all decided to celebrate it at the beach so we could enjoy it more. As we were leaving, I made sure to lock the doors for security, since the house was like older than my grandparents. We were all enjoying ourselves together, talking, eating, playing games, and swimming. But that happiness soon was replaced by horror. Because when we got back to the house, I quickly unlocked the front door and was about to go look in the mirror because my mom said my face got red from swimming. The only place I could think about that had a mirror was my grandparents' bedroom at the time. As I opened the door and saw what was in front of me, my heart dropped, and I screamed in terrifying horror as my voice resonated from my throat. My whole family came rushing in beside me to see what was happening, and most screamed, some fainted. There he was. There he was, the same tall guy with the same outfit, the same hair, the same skin color from my nightmare, hanging himself on the ceiling and aggressively pulling the rope, like he's chopping off his head using rope straps. And a little later, he started to scream in agony. I continued to scream, and tears started falling down my face, while I realized that he also doesn't have a lower body. My mom quickly covered my eyes and dashed me into a room as one of them called 911. I know this sounds like too much and looks like it's not believable, but it's true. My mom consoled me and successfully calmed me down. But then the moment the police arrived, I heard that the guy's dead as his head was already chopped off. After a few days, we heard that the guy who committed suicide in my grandparents' bedroom was a soldier in the army who served in Afghanistan and unfortunately lost his whole lower body from saving his men from a grenade that was about to explode. We also heard he got into deep depression and did that in our house. I feel so bad for him, but also terrified. I've been getting help for my mental health for months now, and I'm finally over that incident. I still have nightmares about it, and I know it'll fade away one day. Oh wait, I just realized something. I forgot to lock our back door.